Wes here, and welcome to day 13 on Shocktoberfest 2023. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, because today lands on a Friday, so that being Friday the 13th, you might be asking yourself, Wes, are you going to be doing one on Friday the 13th movies or Jason? Well, to tell you the truth, we already did it. We did it in the first series way back when. So, we're going to think of something else. Let's see. Well, we've been doing some sequels, so let's just rip one other sequel right off the vault. We're going to be talking about Brian Yuzna's 1998 follow-up of The Dentist Part 2. So, in this movie, we have the lovable yet psychotic Dr. Alan Feinstone surviving everything from the first dentist. He is now in an insane asylum, and somehow he breaks out. He takes a new name, he moves to a different city, where he befriends some of the people in town, and he also makes friends with the big man in town's niece, Jamie, and, well, he starts getting the itch to be a dentist again. So he sees the dentist in town and realizes he's not as professional as he thinks he should be because, you know, Dr. Feinstone's the best ever. So his brain starts going a little cuckoo. He ends up killing the dentist in town, taking over his position, and as the movie starts to progress, he starts noticing that his brain is unraveling. And he also starts to get jealous of Jamie because he starts to get an infatuation with her, but sees that she's, you know, talking to another guy that she had been friends with ever since they were kids. And it brings him back to the first movie with the infidelity of his wife, Brooke, who we thought was dead at the end of the first movie. But guess what? There's a big twist. She's actually alive, even though she has no tongue, and her teeth have been replaced after being pretty much just destroyed at the end of the first film. She hires a private investigator to go look for her ex-husband, and eventually he catches up, and everybody starts knowing too much, and Dr. Feinstone loses his mind, starts killing more people, until his ex-wife comes and tries to kill him, and then Jamie tries to start attacking him, and then all of a sudden, Jamie accidentally kills Brooke, and then Dr. Feinstone gets shot with a nail gun, and then he runs out, and then everybody in town sees him trying to give him a surprise party, and then he runs off into the darkness into a car, nails in his face, laughing hysterically. So that's pretty much the movie in a nutshell. I didn't want to give away too much. I mean, I pretty much just gave the highlight reel. And for the most part, that's pretty much what this movie is. It's kind of a highlight reel. One thing that I don't really care for about the movie is the fact that they do put a lot of montage scenes, or flashback sequences, if you will, from the first movie about Brooke's infidelity, but they put it in a little too much, to the point where it's like, okay, I get it. You know, they didn't really have much of a script on this one, so stock footage never hurt nobody, right? Sometimes it does. Another thing that kind of bugged me, or more so just I kind of zoned out within the first 10 minutes of the film, is the cliche of somebody in a sequel going to a mental institution and breaking out. And a lot of times it's they sew something into their body, and then when they're talking to the doctor alone, they pull the stitches out and then kill them. I mean, it's been done. It's been done in a lot of sequels. I mean, the sequel to The Stepfather did that, which, then again, spoiler alert, that movie's on this list for this year, so you know what, we'll get on to that in another day. The one thing that I actually really did appreciate about this film is that they had somebody from the first film survive, and especially even though she didn't do a lot of great things behind her husband's back, her actually hiring the private investigator, not being able to talk, that kind of helps a little bit because you don't necessarily know what's going on in her mind. Does she still love Alan? Does she want to kill him? What's going to happen? And that's just that kind of made the movie kind of move along a little bit because there was a lot of suspense with the attacks and death scenes in this movie. But still, there was something about the private investigator that made it important for the transitions in the film. Now it's time to grade this film. Alright, so because I'm not a big fan of the cliches, and even though some things actually intrigued me, I'm gonna have to give this one, I'm gonna give this one a B-. I mean, it's a little bit different than the first, but I mean, a lot of it I think they really forced their hand to use a lot of footage from the first one to get the idea across. I mean, honestly, it's very similar to Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, where that movie is damn near half the film of the first movie, stock footage. So at least they didn't do half the movie, maybe like 15 minutes. So we'll give them that, so B-. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode today. Leave a thumbs up, or if you didn't agree with everything I said, you can leave a thumbs down. Totally get it. Other than that, make sure you share on social media, but most importantly, push that little red button, and don't forget to ring that bell for instant notifications on Dragonfire Entertainment. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 14 of SHOCKTOBERFEST 2023. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay scared, kitties.